that awful feeling of my kids are going to be damaged by my damage is a really scary sensation to have. A lot of us with trauma histories walk around feeling defective. We feel like, we're that broken toy in the bin that's 50% off, like there's something wrong.
Right.
And then we parent, and it's like, oh no, I have this child entrusted to me, and I cannot let this child be damaged by my damage. But then at the same token, when we realize that in some ways our damage becomes our superpower, right? That very thing that we look at as this makes me defective is also something that we can use and we can really sort of exploit in a good way to parent our kids. For
Mhm.
example, even just the idea that parenting is super valuable and there's never anything more valuable that a child can receive, right? That it is such a gift that is not something to take for granted, right? Something like dinner on the table and coming home to the smell of food cooking and a parent who's ready to do your homework with you and a home that's cleared for and clean. These are gifts and something to appreciate, right? You might feel defective because you didn't experience it. So you had to learn how to do it and it was hard. But now you've learned how to do it and you can give that gift to another child.
Yeah.
That's huge. And your inner child can actually experience the experience of nurturing from the standpoint of the nurturer, but can
Mhm.
tune into it. So in the book, I talk about what it was like for me. I was raised with a very ill parent. My father had a very serious heart condition, and some of my trauma has to do with that story. But when I got married, my husband was a young, healthy dad, and he knew how to like play with my kids, and he knew how to, just like roughhouse and just do kind of what dads do, right? Just play
Right.
around. And I was this very like sort of organized task focus. Some of it had to do with being a graduate student and working and having small children, but very organized, very like task focused. And
Mhm.
I would get irrationally angry when my husband would come home and start like roughhousing with the kids too close to bedtime,
Mhm.
until I realized that this was my inner child feeling really jealous of my real
Mm.
world children because they were experiencing something, right? This experience of playing with a parent, not growing up in a hospital, right? But like
Right.
playing with a parent that I never had, that joy of just like dad throws you up into the air and you're giggling, right? That
Right.
I had just never experienced. But at some point, I was able to look at that and say, I can join in the play and my inner child can experience it from the standpoint of the adult who's playing, but I can play too. Right. And that was such a profoundly healing moment for me.